Hey guys, it's me Ines, and I'm going to react to 10 terrible Vince McMahon rules Triple H has killed forever in WWE. This is one of those things that Vince McMahon had made WWE at that point. After the end of Ruthless Aggression era, when we entered the PG era, it became the worst version of WWE. Of course, at that point, they need to clean their image because of the CTE situation that happened to Chris Benoit, but that happened, a long time ago. And knowing that what's Vince is no longer in the company because of the allegations of his SA, at that moment, Triple H has been taken over creative, and at that point, he wanted to bring back the good old days or the great moments that he visioned how WWE set their um, ship forward into a new direction, how he carried the NXT back in gold days, and now this is the right time for him to take over creative in the main roster to make it great again. So these are the things that Vince didn't want to put in his brand, where they make a lot of other stars at one point. Doesn't value the tag team division, not treating the women's wrestlers in a right way in some sorts. But again, Vince McMahon knows that he cannot understand about the modern things that what people wanted. For Triple H, on the other hand, he wants to make sure that he wants WWE fans to realize that if this is the best company that they have, in situations of how he's gonna book matches and book segments and create new stars, then this is what Triple H vision the best thing for WWE. So let's get to the video and see what are the 10 terrible Vince McMahon rules that Triple H has killed forever in WWE.
I want to do this. I'm trying to do what's right for the business.
10 Vince McMahon things that Triple H killed off in WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania
Subscribe to
XL.
WrestleMania,
Number
guys.
10, making legends feel inferior. Now, whilst Vince McMahon often liked to use legends on WWE programming, with WWE hosting nights such as Legends Night and McMahon even putting legends in featured programs, it was a common consensus that McMahon didn't give them the respect that they deserved backstage.
Yeah.
Thankfully, under Triple H's leadership, this has vastly changed. The legends, when they visit WWE, are treated with respect and love, and Triple H insists that the modern roster acknowledge the work of the stars of yesteryear. Former WWE European Champion X-Pac confirmed how well Triple H treats legends during an interview with Sports Illustrated. "We get treated so well regarding recent appearance. That wasn't always the way it was. There's been times over the years I've seen older wrestlers so disappointed that they weren't even acknowledged. It's a big deal to us. This was our life. So it means the world to be treated the way we're treated. Being at Raw, I loved it. I was telling my wife this, even people I wasn't close with back in the day. I'm so happy to see them now." Now, the game has even gone out of its way to make amends with former enemies such as Scott Steiner and CM Punk. And it's clear that Triple H believes that no bridge is truly burnt when it comes to WWE. Number 9, longer PLEs. Vince McMahon was obsessed with stacking pay-per-views from top to bottom with matches. This had some positives as it allowed a range of talent to receive pay-per-view time and a pay-per-view payday. However, certain pay-per-views lasted for an eternity, and nothing was given the opportunity to be memorable due to the sheer length of the pay-per-view runtime. This is the complete opposite approach that Triple H takes, as pay-per-views, now referred to as premium live events, only feature a few matches, and this allows matches appropriate time to make a statement. Whilst it's understandable why the game likes this formula, it hasn't been perfect, and has received some criticism. Triple H rarely deviates away from this model, and this means that certain matches that should take place on a PLE match card end up taking place on Raw and SmackDown. Additionally, titles such as the tag titles have just become afterthoughts, as they haven't even been defended on a single PLE since WrestleMania 40, and this is due to the limited match cards on the PLE events. With PLEs breaking records left, right, and center.
It's funny though, because it happened recently at the Royal Rumble, the WWE Tag Team Champions. And yes, I do agree that at the time Vince McMahon wanted longer PLEs. So basically, like to summarize everything that they have made all these storylines into one PLE. But what they don't realize is that for Triple H, he wanted to make it short so that people wouldn't waste too much of their time, so that they could um, value the 2 hour situation. I know that some people wanted 3 hours on Raw or SmackDown, but let's face it, like at that point 2 hours is already enough. And I get the feeling that people just want 3 hours for whatever reason, but I just think that it is the right choice for Triple H or for WWE to make it less or around like 2 hours. And besides, like, imagine that the matches that they're going to not put in PLEs put on Raw or SmackDown. That's also a great thing because it could elevate more value to the wrestlers that held the titles and to make matches great, so that it's not gonna be the same thing that it's just one on one and having less time in terms of a squash match or anything. Just something that they should value of maybe a 10 minutes and so on and so forth. But regardless, this is the right move that Triple H has made. I don't know why people want more time, or some people kind of complain, but good thing that they kind of fixed the situation.
It's unlikely that this is going to change anytime soon, and the only events that the game will break away from this booking pattern will be WrestleMania events, as well as other two-night PLEs such as the upcoming SummerSlam show. Number 8, the 24/7 title.
This one.
Now, the 24/7 title was introduced in 2019, and it was designed to bring some raw excitement to Monday nights. Now, even though the title has had some fun segments and moments
Only
over the
R-Truth,
years,
yeah.
WWE eventually
R-Truth.
lost interest, and it was reported that the infamous title was never mentioned in creative meetings.
Yeah.
One of Triple H's first acts as head of WWE Creative was to retire the title immediately, as hilariously Nikki Cross would attempt to dump the title in a trash can,
And she
which
botched
was
it.
certainly symbolic, as it was
Yeah.
Triple H basically telling the audience what he really thought of the title,
Yeah.
even though she missed the pin completely. Number 7, scripting the commentary team. Now, Vince McMahon loved to micromanage his announce team. It was common knowledge that McMahon directed traffic through a headset, and he was even said to scream down the headset whenever a commentator said something he didn't like. Now, this style of management was very hard on commentators, and it led to numerous names quitting the position over the years. Yet Michael Cole continued on and did his best under extreme difficult working conditions.
Yeah.
One of the first things Triple H did was give his commentary team more freedom, and the quality of the commentary output in WWE vastly improved overnight. Cole, as well as other commentators, began to call the product with love and passion, and the commentary has quite rightly received rave reviews. Cole himself has spoken at length about how happier he is under Triple H's management, and this is what the WWE veteran had to say during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. I think that freedom has really allowed the superstars, and I know for me and I know for Pat as well, has allowed us to be more entertaining, to be more relaxed, to be able to sit back and enjoy this product as a fan. Also, who knows characters better than the character? Seth Rollins knows his character better than anyone on the planet, so why not allow him to be able to bring that character forward? I've seen everything in this business for nearly 30 years. I've never had as much fun as I've had the last couple of years, not only working with you, but working with Paul Levesque. Now, it's wonderful to hear that Cole is having so much fun in his job, and he's a name that firmly deserves all the love and appreciation he's been receiving over the past few years, and no doubt a future Hall of Famer. Number 6,
It's good that finally Michael Cole gets the fun that he deserves, knowing that it took him so long. And I get that it's not alright at one point to get screamed by the ear by Vince McMahon, and at that point, Mick Foley did discuss this before, where Vince screamed at him to say things of what he believes that is right or what needs to be said. But that's the thing, it really is a pain in the butt, knowing that you can't just scream your employees to say all this stuff. Let them have the freedom to say what they want to say and how they really felt. And knowing that Michael Cole has been doing this for years, it kind of makes you wonder how much of him trying to be tough in terms of hearing all those screams. And then at that moment, the time comes when Triple H takes over, he has the sense of being relief and being calm again. And that's the thing about, Michael Cole. Gave a lot of respect to him because he's been doing this for years. And now he gets all the fun. Because recently, in the press con, he's doing the I don't know what it is. I think it's the surfing, where you just lay back and it's surfing, all that with Cody. We already know that at that point he's enjoying life, and that's all that matters.
alienating the international audience. One of the most frustrating elements of being a WWE fan when Vince McMahon was around the company was that he mainly focused on the US market. Whilst WWE would deliver European tours, an international PLE was simply out of the question outside of a few pre-selected nations, but thankfully in 2022 this all changed.
Yep.
Nick Khan and Triple H wanted to focus on expanding and rewarding the international market, and since then there have been major events in countries such as England, Wales, Scotland, France and Germany, just to name a few. Premium live events taking place overseas is now a yearly staple, and this makes it incredibly exciting to be an international WWE fan.
Yep.
These events do amazing numbers for WWE, and according to Khan during an interview with World Congress of Sports,
Adventure's Log, Day 14. After dying of thirst in the desert, I decided it could never happen again, so I became
international PLEs are here to stay. We sat down together a few years ago and decided so the big 5 premium live events should be in the US or Canada. All of the other events, the goal is to have them in international locations.
Which is crazy though, because there's one big 5 premium live event. It's going to go to Saudi, which is the Royal Rumble, as the rumor said, which is like, what can you do, right? But anyways.
There have been calls to have a WrestleMania event overseas, and with the 2026 Royal Rumble taking place in Saudi Arabia, this doesn't seem far-fetched. Number 5,
hey, WrestleMania in London, man. Make it happen.
Ban on independent bookings. A WWE contracted wrestler working in another promotion under Vince McMahon would have been highly unlikely. However, under Triple H, it's now become more common. Triple H allows his talent to work dates outside of WWE under certain circumstances, and due to Triple H working with promotions such as Noah and even TNA, WWE wrestlers are showing up in promotions all over the world. And Triple H has realized that allowing wrestlers to do this doesn't just keep them happy, it also helps other promotions, which can come in handy when looking at signing new talent. Cutting off other promotions is easily done, but it's always easier and healthier to have some type of working relationship with these companies. Triple H even agreed to have TNA talent in the 2024 Rumble, and hearing the WWE commentary team talk openly about TNA storylines and lore was truly groundbreaking. Number 4.
That's great, because at that point you're willing to, let other people who watch WWE knows who they are outside of WWE. Because for me, as I grow up, I only know WWE. But as I get older, I get to know other companies such as TNA, Ring of Honor, and much, much more. Because that goes to show that, there's more than just one company in the wrestling world. So this is a good way to let your wrestlers to go to events and to, not only for them to wrestle other shows, but at the same time, to bring some type of, I would say, appeal, to know that the company is working to work with anybody, and if you're willing to go to the company, you're welcome to. And that's the thing about WWE, because they finally realized that it is time for a change, and this is a good way that WWE realize it is the best decision that they ever made.
Sporadic booking. Long-term storytelling is something that Triple H thrives himself on. Triple H loves to tell stories over a period of months or even years, and whilst Triple H did deliver some long-term storytelling, a lot of his storylines seem sporadic and just thrown together. In fact, it was often said that McMahon would rewrite the show hours before it was set to go live, and some weeks McMahon would be rewriting the show as it was in progress. Speaking to Variety in 2023, the game outlined his...
That's kind of a bit like too much though. Like, why would you have to rewrite before the show? You should at least, maybe the day or 2 days before the show, you could at least written everything before you have to, make a conclusion of what is the results going to happen. Now, if there are third sheets or reports about this, it's predictable that this person is going to win, like, just find a good type of way to make that decision. And then, if you're locked into this decision, if you have second thoughts to it, well, yeah, you can make it happen, but don't overdo it, because that could probably, you don't know what's gonna happen if the result is not gonna be great for the fans or not, and that's the case. But good thing that since we're not yet done with this, hopefully that if Triple H makes decisions that are not changeable most of the time, it's a good way.
His way of booking the WWE product, and it made for a fascinating read. Vince was always thinking long term. Whether it gets executed that way or whether it wasn't, I didn't know. But for me, it's how I think, because it was how I was taught by him. I'm always trying to think about the long-term storyline. I was at SummerSlam and one of the first things I talked to the team about is, okay, where do we want to go for WrestleMania? What's that goal? Obviously it's going to change, but what's the target goal? It's like a GPS.
For this one, yes, I think the difference is that what type of long term are you willing to, meet the goal of what is to be said or what is next for this type of plans. Because again, for Vince, when he changed it up, it's sometimes kind of bit like, it works and it doesn't work. For Triple H, on the other hand, as long as it works, then that's good. But there are some things that it didn't work, and it's just like that. Sometimes it's not easy to be a booker because of the, what's next and what's all this gonna plan out. And that's the thing, not everything's gonna be easy as a creative or a booking standpoint.
Whilst extended storylines don't appeal to everyone, there's no questioning the game's success in this area with storylines such as the Bloodline Saga and Cody Rhodes finishing his story. Number 3, banned words. Now, the list of words that Vince McMahon banned his wrestlers and commentators from saying was endless. Words such as belt and even wrestling would land a talent in hot water, and they would even receive a fine for saying the specific word. Thankfully, this bizarre and outdated rule has been abolished, as Triple H has allowed his talent to say whatever they like, within reason of course. Limiting the vocabulary of wrestlers and commentators did nothing but harm the product, and at times it was more than obvious that a promo or sentence was directly from McMahon himself, and this lack of authenticity was a massive hindrance to the product. Number 2, breaking kayfabe. Now,
as long as if it's the right words, because let's face it, freedom of speech, if it doesn't have to be over the lines of type of words, that's okay.
only under set circumstances would Vince McMahon allow his talent to break kayfabe. McMahon kept this approach for decades, and to his credit, this was something that fans never took issue with. Under Triple H, elements of kayfabe are scaled back, and it was presented on Raw on the Netflix premiere that WWE was strictly a show and fans were watching a scripted spectacle. The opening to Raw on Netflix featured phrases such as heel and face, and to hear these words said openly led to fans having a mixed response. The game would address WWE doing this on the post-Raw press conference, saying, "The reaction seems like we did a good job with it. That was the intent, to capture the emotion and let people know we're not hiding what we do." I saw a lot of chatter from the people saying, "Oh my god, they said heel and face and shoot and work in one promo. We're not hiding what we do, that's what we do." To be honest, I think most of the world understands those terms and they've almost transcended our business. It is what it is, people know what we are. We talk about it, we're not insulting anybody's intelligence. We're an art form, absolutely an art form that captures people's emotions. We don't take ourselves as seriously as most of the other people take us. It was all part of trying to capture that and say, if you've watched, watch this, and hopefully we'll honor what you love. If you never watched this, watch this, we'll explain to you what we are. That was the attempt. Triple H makes a compelling point, however there's a portion of the fanbase that likes to see kayfabe kept intact at all times, and that's completely understandable. And number 1, mass micromanagement. One of the things that was detrimental to the WWE product, particularly during Vince's final few years in charge, was his habit of micromanaging talent in every aspect. Whether it be promos or matches, McMahon took ownership of every aspect, and all areas of WWE programming suffered as a result. Virtually every promo, unless you were named such as Cena, was scripted, and wrestlers weren't allowed to deviate in any way from the scripted material. And this is why promos often felt completely flat, as it was being written by a 70-year-old man who was definitely out of touch with the outside world. Triple H realized this early on during his takeover at WWE, that talent needed to be given freedom, and that the micromanagement style needed to be abolished in favor of a sportive, cooperative environment. Talent were given freedom to get over, and there's not been a better example of this than Drew McIntyre. McIntyre's promo work since Triple H took over has been world class, and the man himself discussed this very topic during an appearance on the Masked Man show. The creative environment with WWE, Triple H kind of leading the charge. This is freedom that feels like I've never felt before. To truly go all the way now, and you can see so many different people, guys and girls across the board finding themselves. And we got so many superstars now. The show doesn't revolve around the same 2 or 3 people. This is without a doubt a key factor in the WWE product booming since the game took over, and this is an approach that McMahon could have easily taken. That's if he just let his stubbornness go in favor of creating a superior WWE product. But there you have it.
And that's the video, guys. Of course, that showcased that yes, it's good that Triple H is willing to give freedom to most of the talents and what they want to say in their promo. because when Vince McMahon write the script in terms of what they're going to say, it was really that bad. I'm sure some of you remember when Roman Reigns at once said, sucking it, such a tash, or whatever that type of word he says. And that is the most atrocious type of promo that he had in his career. And that's the thing, like some people don't realize that when Triple H said that, okay, you're the one who's going to say whatever you want in terms of the freedom that you get, like freedom of speech, as long as it doesn't have to be too much. And that's good because that goes to show that people will understand that we are not always going to enjoy the matches, but at the promos as well, because as long as if it is right. And the thing is that Triple H made it possible for guys like Drew McIntyre, who had a good 2024 run, despite that, yes, he never won a lot, but he says things in terms of, like trying to tell how he really felt, showing his own character and doing this in social medias as well. Like, that's impressive. And that's the thing, like, most people don't realize is that wrestlers can have that ability. It's just that Vince didn't see it. He gave something and it didn't work and it became more cringe. For Triple H, on the other hand, it makes it work because he doesn't have to force people to say things on how he visioned it. And that's the thing that, Triple H made the right decision. That other wrestlers as well can get the chance to say what they really felt, and that's when you get good promos. All I can say is that this is a good video, and hopefully that things will not change because we're still entering the early stages of this era of Triple H. But all I can say is that give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And all I can say is that thank you for watching. Until we see each other in the next video, guys. Peace.